This is CNN.
Hello, in this edition we are going to discuss a little bit about culture shocks inside our own country. For that purpose we have invited three guests, Catherine, Cynthia and Oscar. They have traveled all over Costa Rica. During their trips to different parts of the country, they faced different situations in which their customs were affected or even transgressed. But before welcoming our guests, it would be very important for us to talk a little bit about the concept of culture shocks. It is a personal disorientation a person may feel when experiencing an unfamiliar way of life due to immigrant or a visit to a new country, a move between social environments, or simply travel to another type of life. Now that you know somehow the definition of culture shocks, let's welcome our first guest. Please, upstanding audience, welcome Oscar Delgado Cabana.
Thanks for your invitation.
Welcome now, Oscar. We want to know a little bit about one of the situations in which you experienced culture shock.
Well, my family uses to go to Guanacaste on vacation. In one occasion, I remember that one of the residents was hunting iguanas to eat their meat, and not only their meat, but other parts of the animal. Here is where my culture shock started, because in some places of Guanacaste, people used to eat the eggs of iguanas not when they are expelled, but when they are inside the animal. The residents extract the eggs and cook them. What actually happened is that I was in a cabin in Samara, Guanacaste, and one of the residents, who actually is a friend of my father, came with a plate full of cooked eggs for my whole family, and we were somehow reluctant to eat them. In my case, I just bit a small piece of one egg, and I didn't want to eat that thing anymore.
So let's say goodbye to our first guest and thank him for his participation in today's program. Well, I think that Oscar experience is a very good example in which we can mention that culture check is not only a matter of only different countries. Actually, it is something that people may experience in their own country because of the existence of subcultures. In order to continue, please welcome our new guest speaker.
And now we have Cynthia.
Good afternoon. I'm glad to be here.
Cynthia, can you tell us about your culture shock?
Sure, it happened 2 years ago on Holy Week when my family and I went to Guanacaste. A friend of mine invited us to watch the bullfights, so we decided to go. After watching the bullfights, my friend suggested going to the Tempisque River. I immediately took my camera because I always wanted to see crocodile. I was so excited. It was my chance to see these amazing reptiles in their habitats. But when we were there, I was scared and surprised to witness so many people screaming. I asked my friend, "What is it? Why is everybody here?" And she told me it is because of the lagarteada. What? What is the lagarteada? She replied, "Every year on Holy Week, people come with sticks and nets in order to catch a crocodile. It is the custom," she replied. Once the animal is trapped, it's taken to a place in which everybody has the opportunity to watch it and touch it. After 3 days, the reptile is freed in his natural habitat without scratches. After watching the spectacle and listening the whole story about the lagartia, I was confused and impressed. I thought, meanwhile, in San Jose, people celebrate Holy Week going to church and participating in processions. In Guanacaste, residents risked their lives trying to catch a crocodile.
Did you want to participate on the next Lagarteada, Cynthia?
I don't think so. I don't want to be bitten by a crocodile.
So thank you so much for sharing your culture shock with us.
Now we continue with Catherine.
I'm very glad to be here. I am a fan of your program.
Thank you, Catherine. Can you tell us about one situation in which you experienced culture shock?
Sure, I went with my family to visit some relatives in Guapelos for 3 days. The last day we visited a farm and we saw a farmer named Eladio using very large steels.
Really? What is the purpose of using steels?
Steels is Eladio's word because he can move around the farm with more facility to pick up papayas from trees. It is an interesting form to use steels. Mr. Eladio gave us the opportunity to use them for having the chance of pick up papayas, but it was very difficult for me because steels are at about 2.50 meters. It was strange because commonly we see steels in other activities.
That's very interesting. Thank you for participating. Okay, that thanks for watching our program. Goodbye.
This is CNN.